Body camera video from the LA County Sheriff's Department showing a black woman getting punched by a deputy twice while she was taken into custody. And a warning, this video is disturbing.
You had a bro, not let it go. You breaking the leg, bro. Hey, get this on recording. Y'all punch me, bro. Get that on record.
This video is brought to you by TatumStore.com. TatumStore.com. Get the merch link in the description section and put in a discount code that you see right below me and get a percentage off of the store. Why do you do that, Mr. Tatum? It's because I love you guys, and if you follow me, you watch me on social media, I'm going to give you a discount just as a thank you for your support. Like and subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell so you get notification anytime I go live and make a video. Y'all already know what to do. Let's get into this. There's a situation that came out of LA County where they beat this girl up because she refused to give over her baby. And so let me tell y'all how this was presented to me, and then I'm going to tell you what I then found out at some point. So one of my video guys showed me and said, man, it's messed up that they beat this girl up, punched her in the face, and took her kid. And I'm like, well, what all happened? What's the totality of circumstances? Because a cop really don't have the purpose of beating a woman up and taking her kids. What, are they going to take it home with them? Nah, it must be something significant for a cop to want to put their hands on and take your kid. You had to be doing something incredibly criminal for you to get your kids taken by police officers on a traffic stop. But lo and behold, if you look at the body-worn camera footage or you look at the reports, let me tell you why this woman lost her kid. She got multiple kids, and none of them in a car seat. Let me read this. Just released body-worn camera footage from July the 13th, 2022. Altercation shows cops pulling over a car driving without headlights with 5 women packed inside and 3 babies, not in a car seat. Oh my God. Why black people? And they make it a big deal now because one of them got punched in the face. She refused to take her kid, give her kid up. But nobody's mad that 5 women is sitting in one car with a dude driving drunk, no headlights, and 3 babies. None of them have a car seat. That's not the problem.
Body camera video from the LA County Sheriff's Department showing a black woman getting punched by a deputy twice while she was taken into custody. And a warning, this video is disturbing.
You had a bro, not let it go. You breaking the leg, bro. Hey, get this on recording. Y'all punch me, bro. Get that on record. That punch me, bro.
All of this is happening after deputies were demanding to take her baby from her arms. The video also shows another mother in the same incident from July of last year, and deputies taking her baby while taking her into custody. The car the women were in was pulled over for a suspected DUI, and none of the children were in car seats. LA County Sheriff Robert Luna just spoke about this incident and the punch that we saw on that body camera video.
I found the punching of the woman in these circumstances completely unacceptable. While this incident occurred 1 year ago, before my term as sheriff began, I took swift action upon learning about this incident several days ago.
The deputy involved has been relieved of duty. Sheriff Luna says that they have referred this case to the DA's office and the FBI.
That's the world we live in today. That's not the problem. Oh, the cops punched her to take her kid away because she's obviously negligent and she was resisting arrest. She got the kid involved in the situation and they had to use force against her and punch her in the face. Was probably one of those things. However, nobody cares that they driving around with a drunk driver in the driver's seat, belligerent drunk, driving with no headlights, 5 women in the car. You know, none of them got a seatbelt on, and 3 toddlers, 3 babies, nobody got a seatbelt on. You get into a car accident, everybody's dead. Babies are flying all out the window and everything. But no, that's not a big deal. They black, they're victims. It's okay for them to ride around putting their kids' lives in danger. But if the cop says we need to take your kid for their safety, oh my God, why would you ever take the kids from a woman? Well, dang, she didn't care about her kids anyway. Is she afraid? Let me just say this. Was she afraid that if she handed her kid over to the cops, that the kid was in danger? Well, Shanae, you in a car with a drunk driver with 5 other women packed up in the car. Nobody got a seatbelt on. Your kids are safer with the cop in his or her hands than you driving around the way you driving. But, you know, in the world we live in, that's not reasonable. It says the police claim they smelled alcohol on the driver and saw the babies being held in their mother's arms during the traffic stop just before midnight. So they got all these babies out at midnight or just before midnight. Drunk driver. They all sit in the car. Nobody got no car seats on. You know they ain't got seatbelts on. They don't make 5 seatbelts in the back seat. The video shows one of the women asking the deputy if she could drive home to pick up a car seat. Now I almost wanted to cuss. This woman want to drive home, I'm assuming, with her baby to go get a car seat. I don't think that's a scenario. Maybe the woman want to drive home to get a car seat and then come back so she can then take her babies back. I'm assuming that's what she's saying. The female deputy tells her, we're past that point. We didn't realize you had that many kids. You guys each had a kid in the back seat without a car seat, which is considered a crime. When a woman refused to hand over the child, the deputy asked, so do you want me to grab the baby or are you going to hand the baby over nicely? The woman began tearing up and pleading with the police officers not to take her baby, but the deputies are implicable. That sounds weird. I never heard that word before. With one of them kneeling next to her and saying, I don't want to have to snatch her and have my partner grab your arm. That's the last thing that I want to do. But we're going to take the baby one way or another, and I don't want to be rude about it. Now, if someone of reasonable, functional brain power would imagine or at least say to themselves, I'm already driving with a drunk person in a car full of kids, no seatbelt. I'm in trouble at this point. I may not want to give my kid away because I'm afraid, but they're telling me they're going to take the kid anyway. If they begin to be violent with me while my kid is in my arm, that's even more of a dangerous situation for my child. So let me hand it over to these cops. They ain't going to kill my kid. They're not going to do anything nefarious to the baby. And I got to deal with these consequences because I'm a dumb idiot that don't really love my kid enough to not ride in the back seat with 5 other women with no seatbelt on, with a drunk driver. Okay, one of the deputies then grabbed the woman's arms and with another forcibly removing the baby, okay? The deputy then turned the attention to another woman standing with her 3-week-old baby in her arms. So they already took one kid from one woman. So the next woman that's going to observe this is observing that they going to take your baby, rightfully so. But you see them take the other baby, what you think they're going to do to you? It's going to get violent, or you're going to turn your kids over. As you tried to talk her into handing over her baby to them, the mother exclaimed, y'all are not taking my baby. You're going to have to shoot me dead to take my baby from my arms. I'm not about to let you take my baby. As she struggles with the deputies, a male officer punched her twice in the face, after which the mother is placed in handcuffs. She go, you punched me, bro. The mom cried out. She repeatedly yelled, you're wrong, while she is placed in the handcuffs. The driver was arrested for driving under the influence, driving on suspended driver's license, and child endangerment. The 4 women in the car were held on suspicion of child endangerment. Ladies and gentlemen, these are felonies. Homie got charged with felonies. And you're talking, he got charged with 3 babies. He got charged with 3 counts of child endangerment, driving on suspended license, and DUI. And each woman probably got charged with the endangerment of her own child. But yet, people are mad and going crazy because the girl got punched twice in the face. And I don't know why the deputy would lose his job. I don't think he should. I think that he told you he now have to make you, and if you gave your baby over, he wouldn't have to use force against you.
Alex Villanueva says he was not aware of this incident because it did not rise to the level that warrants a sheriff's immediate review, but it was handled by the proper division.
There was no major injuries, and obviously no one was shot. So this does not have the same pathway like a deputy-involved shooting. So it was properly investigated at the time, and it takes time. And the conclusion of the investigation happens now on the current sheriff's watch.
Former Sheriff Alex Villanueva says the timing of Sheriff Robert Luna's press conference and decision to release this deputy body cam footage is no coincidence.
Tomorrow is the 1-year statute of limitations of the case.
Villanueva questions why his successor chose not to release all the deputies' footage, which can be requested. Sheriff Luna says,
I think we are being courteous in editing it down.
But Villanueva thinks the limited view doesn't tell the full story and only incites the public.
Is to create a false image in the eyes of the public about the nature of the incident. I think that's inappropriate. In fact, I think it's unethical.
Without being able to see all the footage himself, Villanueva says it's hard to judge the deputy's actions, but he does feel strongly about one thing.
Do you think that this deputy should be criminally charged?
No. If there's an issue about his improper application of force, it's not going to rise to the level of criminal action.
Villanueva wants the public to remember the good that came out of the traffic stop involving a DUI driver that was driving with a suspended license and without his headlights on, and 3 infants that were not in car seats.
A tragedy was averted because they were pulled over successfully. All it would have taken was one small traffic accident and all those babies would have gone flying, and then it would be a death.
Bottom line, the former sheriff has a rough review of the new sheriff in town.
He's trying to basically pretend like he's supporting the deputies in their privacy rights while he's throwing them under the bus, and you can't have it both ways.
To me, it's legitimate to punch her in the face. Let me tell you why, though. When you are dealing with a person who's belligerent, a person who's already made claims that they're not giving over the baby, you're investigating her for child endangerment. You don't know what she's going to do. She may get crazy and throw the baby on the ground. She may get crazy and try to run off with the baby. Once you make the decision that you're going to take the baby and you get control of her, you got to be decisive. You don't want to be fighting a lady with a baby in the middle, because then the baby could get injured. So a man taking a decisive action and saying, okay, I'm going to punch her in the face a couple times, loosen her up a little bit, daze her, therefore she let the baby go. Therefore we can do this swiftly, quickly, without injuring the baby. I don't have a problem with him punching her in the face twice. Did they get the baby after he punched her in the face? Yes, they did. Were they going to get the baby before he punched her in the face? They probably weren't. And so I get it now in the climate that we live in, because she black and he's not black. He's now in trouble. He's been relieved of duty. I don't know what that means. He on administrative leave or they fired him. One of the two happened. It's only because he's white and she's black. NAACP is probably showing up on the scene. Benjamin Crump is probably showing up on the scene. They're only doing this because these people are black. At the most, if there's a punishment that needs to be had, at the most that should be had is potentially him getting retrained. You don't lose your job for trying to take decisive action. She won't give up the baby until he gave her a 2-piece combo. And then she gave the baby up. Now, see people like Roland Martin, I'm looking at the clip right now, and all these dumb black people are so upset about the cop punching her, but they're not upset about the woman driving in the car with a drunk driver with their kids in their lap with no seatbelt on. I mean, make it make sense to me. Like, for instance, if the cop never punched her, should she go to jail? Let's just keep it real. Should she go to jail? They like Roland Martin and some of these other black activists don't even think these people should go to jail. But see, you know, I don't know. I feel like white people and black people, generally speaking, are very different. I don't see white people coming to the defense of a white woman and 5 white. I don't even think I would ever see a situation like that. For some reason, black people do this. But if you see a situation where you got 4 white women in the back with their kids, no car seat, and they get in trouble, one get punched in the face, you ain't gonna see no white activists coming out and saying they just wrong for that. They're gonna be like, she had no business fighting the cops with their kid in her hand and driving in the back seat with a drunk driver with no car seat on these little toddlers. The little baby like 3 months old. They riding dirty. None of them got a seatbelt on. It's crazy to me that the outrage, and I'm sorry that deputy lost his job. I might reach out to him and raise the money for him. Hold the phone. I'll be back after the break.